Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be using this Mojo Monday sketch. So you can pause here and get the measurements. But before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and then click the little bell. So that way you get alerts every time I upload videos, okay? So I appreciate you guys, and we're going to dive on in. So for this series for the month of July, I'm going to be using Doodlebugs. I want to say it's the is it Fairy Garden? Hold on. Yeah, Fairy Garden collection. And I'm just because I'd already had started using it, going through to show you some of the papers that come in the collection. They're really pretty, vibrant colors. Doodlebug is definitely sunshine and rainbows, okay? You cannot be sad using this paper. So what I'm going to do, I think, do I bring it out? I may not, but like whenever I get kits from scrapbooking, my little scrapbook store, excuse me, she always has ribbon tied up on the bags. And so I save them. And so this whole month, I'm going to be whipping those out and using them on cards to show you guys that you can even use the ribbon that Michelle sends with her packages. So right now I'm taking, I think this is peacock feathers, and I'm going around and coloring inking the edges of this particular paper because I want it to stand up off of the pattern piece, just to give it a little bit of something something, because the paper itself is like tone on tone. It's basically a tone on tone image with clouds. And then this piece, decided I wanted to use the polka dots. And like I have done on last month's videos, whenever I don't use pattern paper for a layer, I tend to like using the ink on the edges to provide separation when you have multiple patterns, right? So even though the polka dot would have no problem on top of the blue because you can barely see the pattern on the blue, you still have the other mini polka dots on the background, right? But with doing the ink, it allows all three to be separate in your eyes. And then I'm bringing another pattern, y'all. You thought it was just going to be three? Nope. We got some more of the plaid. And I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, if you don't want it to be too bulky, do this with the inked edges. You can use your black soot, you can use your brown, depending on what color cardstock I'm putting it on top of, will determine what I use as far as inking the edges. And because this paper is so vibrant, I just thought using the blue is actually genius because it matches the blue in the paper collection. So now I have a little piece of this yellow ribbon, and I'm going to wind up putting a little bit of score tape on the back because I'm not exactly sure where it's going to lay or land the ribbon, but so I wanted to make sure there's enough tape. Once I found the area, I could just fold the ribbon around, and then that way I know it's in the exact spot that I want it to be in. And then anything extra I can trim off. And then when I go around with my tape runner, I will wind up putting, I want to say, score tape on top of the ribbon as well. And then underneath I just put a little dab of glue. Oh no, this one I was able to just go right over it. Sometimes if my tape runner isn't going over the ribbon, I will just put a layer of ATG, which you'll see in later videos. And then we're just going to attach this right to our A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And instead of doing um a bow like right on top, or like taking the ribbon, tying it and knotting it and all on the card. I'm actually going to play and get the bow that I want free-handed, and then I'm going to trim it, the extra ribbon, and just attach the ribbon right to the card. So it'll look like I have a bow that I created, but it's actually just sitting right on top. And this allows you to just keep fussing, pulling, getting it to the right length. And sometimes I'll knot it right on the card. It just depends. But I find that I have more luck with my bows if I do the bow separate, figure it out, and then lay it down on top. And then I'll fold those two together and then trim, cutting on the angle, and then they match, and then boom. Perfect. So that's going to go, probably wind up in there, and I may trim it down a little bit further, but I'm just going to take a glue dot right on the back of the bow and attach it, like I said, right to the card front. And I think I wind up messing up the dot, so that's why I grabbed a second one. And then we're just going to put that down, and anywhere where I may need it, I'll just put a little dab of glue to make sure it has good adhesion, because I don't want it to just fall off, because remember, I'm trying to make it look like it's all a part of the ribbon. And I'm just trimming it a little bit because I didn't want it to come off the card itself. There we go. Perfect. Now, for the circle in the center with the, I guess it would be like a, what is that? Scalloped mat. I messed up the first time, so that's why you see the sentiment there. But I'm attaching the glue and then attaching straight to the scalloped punch that I used. So for my card, I went down in the size because all I have is a 3-inch. I don't have anything bigger than that in the punches, and I didn't feel like getting my die cuts out. So I went and did the, I think I have a 2 3/4 punch circle, plain circle, and then I did the 3-inch, no, reverse that, 2.5 white circle, 2 3/4 scalloped, and I get my sentiment. And I want to say on the actual picture, it might say 3-inch or 3.5-inch circle. So it's a little bit bigger, but I don't mind mine because it's fitting right in the center and it works fine. And now I'm using some of the Picket Fence Studios gems. And I love these containers that they're in. It reminds me of like a makeup compact. It's so cute. It really is, except when it gets a little gem stuck. So I did have to use my scissors to move it, but I just really like how it's stored in there. Okay, so now we're going to grab our gem tool, which helps picks up the little gems. We can put a dot of glue and then put it back down. I'm finally getting the hang of using this one. I've had this one for a little bit now. There's so many different options out there, but it's really quick and easy. You get a little bit of bling and a really nice card. You can always use your Nuvo drops or even sequins if you wanted to. I just happen to have these on my desk and they went well with the colors. So there's my 2 projects. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. So, like I said in the beginning, if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button. And definitely hit that little bell so that way you're notified whenever I upload new content. And you'll get alerts whenever my Friday videos hit live as well. So, thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you with our next video.